towards Danny Rose on that left-hand side. Llorente breaks inside the penalty area. Poor cross in the end from Rose, and now it's Zaha. Foot race between him and Jan Vertonghen, who does well in the end. He knew that if he let Wilfried Zaha get away from him, he was in trouble, so he slid out a big left boot.
Good early slide challenge, contact defending there from Vertonghen. And I've gone on record a couple of times, Phil, this season saying for me, Jan Vertonghen's been Tottenham's best player. I think he's been brilliant. Here he is again.
Yeah,
corner for Palace.
Another block on Wilfried Zaha, but it is a corner. They're mounting now the Crystal Palace corner count. And you just think if they can cause a little bit of mischief inside an 18-yard box, the ball drops to someone who lashes it in. It does happen. There's plenty of height in there. Sakho can now get involved. Dan Milivojevic. Mamadou Sakho's come up from the back. Schlupp is the only man back. Here it comes towards Scott Dan. He gets his head on the ball. It goes far post and drifts out of play.
Yeah, probably done Spurs a bit of a favour actually there. Spurs actually have conceded a few late goals here at Wembley. You said Chris Wood for Burnley. Obviously, consolation for Ronaldo here midweek.
Yeah. Long ball forward looking for Llorente. Steered away by Mamadou Sakho.
Chelsea with Alonso at the start of the season.
Townsend. Flicked out wide towards Schlupp again behind him diagonally. He's got Mamadou Sakho inside his own half of the pitch for Crystal Palace. The red and blue shirts, the blue shorts and socks, and over the top for Sakho. That's Bakary Sakho to chase. The flag had gone up against him. Paulo Casaniga was alert to the danger. Out of his penalty area, he'd headed it clear anyway.
Swept up, took no chances, but the flag was already raised.
Free kick to Spurs, who lead by a goal to nil. Time ticking away, and that may be Palace's biggest enemy. Will be the fact the clock keeps ticking. 10 minutes to go. Tottenham leading by a goal to nil. Clean sheets as well. It's like, last season, well, so few goals conceded. Full stop. And only 9 at home for Tottenham Hotspur. Only dropped 4 points on their own patch. I didn't quite know what Andros Townsend was doing there. He tried to piggyback on the back of Davinson Sanchez, who's got it clear to Llorente down the right-hand side. Mamadou Sakho in close attention though, and manages to wiggle it away from the former Swansea man.
Well, that's going to be important for Spurs if they do play from back to front from one of their three centre-halves. And Llorente isolates one of the centre-halves. He gets his body in, he maybe wins a few flick-ons, he buys them some precious seconds, protects the football, and Spurs then can move themselves up the pitch.
Here's Dyer. Surges forward. Angled ball to the left-hand touchline of Tottenham inside the Palace half of the pitch. Eriksen receives from Danny Rose, tries to drop the shoulder and drift beyond Johan Cabaye, but the Frenchman's taking it away from the Dane, and now in centre midfield Milivojevic rolls it back. The Spurs have won it through Llorente. Milivojevic and Scott Dan in all sorts of bother on that occasion, but Palace still come away with it. Attempted flick from Zaha, and Son looked offside, but he's onside into the penalty area. Son can seal it! Puts it into the side netting.
Oh, he tried to give the goalie the eyes. The ball perhaps was positioned centrally. If he'd had a bit more angle on it, I think he was going to try and pass it round the outside of him into the left-hand corner. Just got that one wrong, Son. Big chance. Great pass again from Vertonghen. Spurs missed a few challenges, but not the Belgium. Very unselfish there, and Son should have hit the target.
Yeah. Cleared away from the goal kick by Julian Speroni. Spurs have possession again. Long for Son down the left-hand side, onside. He's got Llorente calling for it. Needs to pick out the pass precisely. Llorente attacks the ball, and it bobbles away.
Took his eye off it. It went over Sakho all afternoon. Won most ball in the air when it's got into the box.
Townsend dispossessed. Here comes Moussa Sissoko for Tottenham Hotspur, flicked in towards Son. Offside this time, and it will be a free kick to Crystal Palace in their 18-yard box. And we've got 8 minutes to go, Bradley Allen. Spurs leading by a goal to nil.
Been a much better watch though for the pair of us, Phil, and the supporters. It's been full of incident. There's been much better chances. There's been intention from both these sides to obviously break the deadlock. Eventually it was Son for Spurs, wasn't it, that managed to get himself a goal. It's just nudged Spurs in front, but this is still finally poised. Away again, Son.
Yeah, he was onside because he was in his own half of the pitch. Saka's trying to get back at him. He's inside the penalty area. Son's waiting for some support, and it takes a deflection from the former Liverpool defender and out of play for the corner kick.
I feel a little bit sorry for him because he's getting criticised. I think the Tottenham supporters, but he's worked hard, Son, in this second half, and he's running behind much better, and that does take it out of you. The only thing maybe there is he should have got his shot off a bit quicker.
Eriksen dispossessed after taking a short corner. Here's Townsend, he's on the right-hand side. Danny Rose at his back, fist in field. Bakary Saka now has the ball at his feet, and he drives it first time out wide towards the left. Poor ball. And Wilfried Zaha looks at the heavens.
Kabay did really well on the press there. Got it off of Eriksen. And when the pass there was on to angle it forward to give Zaha a 1v1, we've already seen when he's been in those situations, Zaha, he can be a real threat and danger.
Roy Hodgson telling his team to get their head up, have a look what's going on. It bounces through midfield. Here's Dembele for Tottenham Hotspur, who lead by that goal to nil scored by Son. On the right-hand side, Aurier just prods it back infield to Christian Eriksen. 6 minutes to go. Come on, you Spurs, the cry from the home fans. As Eriksen has it again, Lorenzo just drifted offside. He's running that line right through the middle of the Crystal Palace defence at the moment. Eriksen again trying to manufacture something. He's got it on the right, flicks it towards Aurier, level with the edge of the Palace penalty area. Swept back into centre midfield. Here is Dembele, turns up. Danny Rose makes a little movement. It's prodded back to Son from Llorente. Palace win it back. Sarko again on the stretch, manages to flick it to the left when he finds Jeffrey Schlupp, who fires it up the touchline. Spurs come away with it though. It's won by Moussa Sissoko. Here's Dembele looking for Son, cut out by Mamadou Sakho. And then Vertonghen read that forward ball well. Palace have it though at the back, and Fosu Mensah carries it towards the halfway line before rolling it to Bakary Saka. Fosu Mensah again guides it into the path of Scott Dan. The coaching duo of Lewington and Hodgson stood on the edge of the Palace technical area. Mauricio Pochettino sat down watching the rest of this half as he stripped over the top. Loftus-Cheek almost broke in on that from the right hand. He was being monitored by Jan Vertonghen, and Gazaniga came and gathered the ball.
It looked as if the ball was a bit too straight, didn't it? It was almost feathered over the shoulder of the Spurs 3 defenders. Excellent start position again from Gazaniga. He came in off the right-hand side there, Loftus-Cheek, and the Chelsea loanee almost got on the end of the through ball.
There's people starting to make their way away from this game, Bradley. I know travelling to and from Wembley is pretty irksome in big crowds like this, but anything could happen in the next few minutes. Tickets aren't cheap. Here's Zaha, darts forward again, tries to, wrong option, he tried to roll it through towards Loftus-Cheek, but he had Bakary Saka and acres of space on the left-hand side, and now Spurs, it's 4-on-4 at the moment. Palace players struggling to get back apart from the ones that are there. Here's Christian Eriksen, thought about a shot, filters it towards Sissoko, Son's inside the 6-yard box, blocked by Schlupp, corner kick Spurs.
Well,
1-0, they still lead.
Opening up, isn't it? Spurs just quite get that final pass or finish to cap this game, which has proved to be quite challenging for them this afternoon. Crystal Palace have played their part. They've been resolute. I think, you know, he can take some encouraging parts from it, can't he, Roy Hodgson, this afternoon, and definitely stuff for them to build on.
But it's another game that goes without a point from it. That's the downside. So I'm just sorry to be negative. If it isn't improved upon as a header this time.
Sanchez jumps a bit early.
Yeah, and he heads it wide of the right-hand upright of Speroni. As the clock is ticking for Crystal Palace in this game, it also ticks in the Premier League, doesn't it? We've seen results elsewhere. I know this wasn't, you look at it and think, well, this isn't necessarily an easy tie, but Bournemouth getting an away win yesterday, Burnley winning again, Brighton winning, Huddersfield getting a result.
Yeah.
You know, Stoke and Leicester getting a point between them. As it's flicked infield for Son. Crystal Palace have got a run of games coming up after the international break, hugely important.
Offside. Saka shouldn't have been. It's very frustrating. I think the thing with that, Phil, I said last week, maybe a bit controversial, but I repeat again, having drawn Palace and West Ham, in my opinion, both of those sides to the remainder of this season, sadly, are in a relegation scrap.
Well, it's one of those.
If either have won, I think, you know, it'll elevate them.
It's a result that does no favours to either team.
Absolutely.
And I suppose, you know, West Ham, Palace would have taken more out of it because at least they got something from a position where
but
they were heading towards
What I would say is they've definitely got to improve away from home. I think they've been pretty good today, actually, Palace, and can take encouragement from this, but they have to pick up points on their travels. But of the two of our London sides at the foot of the Premier League, I think Crystal Palace have got a better chance of getting more points than West Ham currently, because West Ham are really struggling at the London Stadium.
Everton at home, Stoke at home, Brighton, West Bromwich Albion away.